Welcome and welcome back. This is Becky Buckholtz with the Cottonwood Sound Water Conservation District. And in this segment, we're going to talk about what is a resource concern. Because I'm pretty sure you're all out there looking at me like, huh? And I think you know exactly what it is. It's just the terminology that's used by NRCS and the Soil and Waters for the local work group, can be really confusing. So let's take a look, and I think the pictures will really make it clear. So, when NRCS is doing conservation planning for you, when you come in and say, hey, I want help with this, they have 7 main categories that they're focusing on when they are planning conservation practices and plans for landowners. We're looking at things involving soil, water, air, plant, animal, energy, and the human side of resources. And so a resource concern is something that you can think of when you look at the pictures. It's an issue. There's something that's unsustainable is going on. I'm not saying that you're doing something wrong. It's just crap happens, and sometimes we just have to fix stuff. Um, in the left-hand picture, this is a classic gully erosion. It happened in about 2018 in a field right after they had done some tiling, and with the heavy rains we had, it just completely washed out. This sucker was like 8 feet across and several feet deep. In the middle picture, you're seeing some concentrated flow down directly into one of the rivers in Cottonwood County from a farm field. And then on the right-hand picture, you're actually seeing some flood damage from the 1969 flood. I wasn't around in the county then, but some of you were. And so you probably remember that. And then these are just example pictures. We have wind erosion. So you can see with the field windbreak here, you see that pile up of snow. That's all small particles that get captured. Middle picture from 1979, wind erosion. It happens down here. There must have been some more flooding in the 90s. Yeah, there was. And here's a feedlot that's literally underwater. And so now you have feedlot runoff potentially going where it shouldn't. Nutrients and pathogens going to surface waters, potentially groundwater. 1993 again, big gully erosion. This is more of a stream bank, ravine, gully. You can't really see it, but the river is pretty far down and you can see it eating back into the field. And then more ephemeral gully. So classic gully is like, you ain't going to close that with a tractor or a dozer. Ephemeral gully, you could probably close it with tillage. And that's kind of how we determine the difference, right? And sheet and rill erosion. And I took some historical photos from our district because I just want you to know, this is not anything new. We've had issues for a long time, or resource concerns for a long time. And, we're just working towards helping mitigate them. And so just the last few pictures again. This is sediment delivery into a surface water. You can see we had another big rain. This is from 2018, and you can just see this plume of sediment going straight out into the lake. Flooding and ponding is a resource concern when we had those big rains again. Aquatic habitat for fish and other organisms, potentially flooding and ponding again. Getting into more terrestrial habitat for wildlife. So here's a prescribed burn trying to increase vegetation diversity and things like that. Livestock. Livestock animals are another part. So you could have a feed and forage balance issue or inadequate shelter or water, that kind of thing. We also have a super fun game for you. It's called Name That Resource Concern. It's a free online game that the staff developed that's very similar to the pictures you saw, but they're different. But it is multiple choice. And so you get to, it helps you identify and feel confident about what a resource concern is. I have a feeling you're going to ace it because you're smart cookies out there. And as you can see, those issues and things that are happening on the landscape that are making it difficult to farm, that's a resource concern. I mean, you know what it is. There's a website link on our Soil and Water webpage under the local work group tab and on our Facebook page as well. And I just want to leave you with this. Hugh Hammond Bennett is considered one of the forefathers of conservation. Um, and he said, there is no virtue in planning merely for the sake of planning. Unless plans can be translated into action, planning becomes a profitless mental exercise. And that's what we are trying to avoid with the local work group. We aren't just planning to plan. Your your voice matters. Like I said in previous videos, you tell us what the issues are. You tell us what the resource concerns are, and that's where we're going to direct funding. And now that our funding is more locally led than ever, it's more important than ever that we find out what those issues are. So please fill out the survey if you get it. If you come into the office and we ask you and talk to you questions about what issues and things, concerns you're having on your landscape, this is why. Please talk to us. It's what we want to know. Please join us July 22nd at 11 a.m. in 2021 here for our local work group meeting. If you can't make it, return that survey, talk to us, just give us a call. We want to hear from you. Thanks.